Hello dear students. This is Mr. Hitesh Patel, Assistant Professor LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this video session, we are going to discuss some basic concepts of basic mechanical engineering. Today in this video session, we are going to discuss about a chapter named Properties of Steam. So first of all, before starting this chapter, we must know that why we need to learn this chapter, properties of steam, because we have already learned a chapter, properties of gas. So why we need to learn this chapter? So dear students, the gas, a perfect gas does not change its phase during change in temperature. Okay, but a pure homogeneous substance like water changes its state while there is change in temperature. So we can know that when there is water is in solid form, it is ice. When we supply the heat to the ice, it absorbs the heat and converted into liquid, so its property will be changed. When we further supply the heat to the water or liquid, it change its state and converted into vapor. So there is change in phase takes place during the process. So we need to learn this chapter, properties of steam. Okay, so first of all, what is the main difference between steam or vapor and gas? So we know that the state of the substance in which evaporation from its liquid state is incomplete, that is known as vapor, and if the evaporation from its liquid state is completed, then it is known as gas. We know that the gas follows Boyle's law and Charles law, but the steam does not follow the Boyle's law and Charles law. When the steam gets cooled, there is condensation of that steam takes place. When the moderate pressure and temperature condition, the gas remains in gaseous state. Okay, we know that the specific volume of the steam is very less as compared to gas, because there are some particles of the water molecules are also there, while in case of gas the specific volume of the gas is more than the steam. Okay, so these are the basic difference between steam or vapor and gas. So next, today we will learn how this steam is generated, or we can say that steam formation process. So let's start. For understanding steam formation process, first of all we will take a one cylinder. Okay, and in that cylinder one piston is fitted. The piston is fitted in such a way that it can easily slide inside the cylinder. Okay, in that cylinder 1 kilogram of water is filled, and that water must be at 0 degrees Celsius. And for maintaining constant pressure over the piston, we will place dead weight over the piston, and the dead weight is W. Okay. Now, after this setup is completed, we will supply the heat from the bottom of the cylinder. When we supply the heat from the bottom of the cylinder, we will see that there is gradually increase in temperature of the water takes place. That temperature will be recorded until the temperature of the water reach at saturation temperature. After then there is a fixed temperature. When we measure the temperature remains the fix. That temperature is known as saturated temperature. Again further we are supplying the heat to the that saturated temperature water. All the water will converted into vapor. Again we are supplying the, if we supply continuously the heat to that saturated water which is in gaseous state, there is increase in temperature takes place after certain time. Okay, so that temperature is the temperature of superheated steam. So this is the basic arrangement for steam formation. In short, we can say that the steam generation process takes place at constant pressure. This whole theory we will understand by this TH diagram, temperature versus enthalpy diagram. Here temperature is in degree Celsius or Kelvin, and since specific enthalpy, that is small h, will be kilojoule per kilogram, because we are taking 1 kilogram of this steam, sorry, 1 kilogram of water. So let's start. So first of all, when we are fill the water inside the cylinder at 0 degree Celsius, at that time the condition of water is at point A. When we supply the heat to the water, there is slight increase in temperature of the water takes place. When there is increase in temperature of the water takes place, that temperature is increased up to the point B. After that, there is no increase in temperature takes place. That temperature is known as saturated temperature. So we can define the saturated temperature as it is the temperature at which water begins to boil at state pressure. That temperature is known as saturated temperature, and that saturated temperature is represented by point B. And if we drag that B line on temperature diagram, then we will get the value of saturated temperature. If we drag that line on specific enthalpy diagram, at that point we can see that the gap between point A to HF, so that distance is known as sensible heat, okay, or enthalpy of evaporation of liquid. So what is sensible heat or enthalpy of evaporation of liquid? So amount of heat energy required to increase the temperature from 0 degree Celsius to its saturation temperature at given pressure. Again, amount of heat energy required to increase the temperature from 0 degree Celsius to its saturation temperature of unit mass of substance at given pressure. That heat is known as sensible heat or enthalpy of evaporation. Okay. After point B, when we further supply heat to point C, from point B to point C, when we further supplying the heat, at that time we can see that there is no increase in temperature of the water. So the question is, what happened to the heat which we are supplying? Because the burner is still on and we are continuously supplying heat to the water. So where that heat goes? So dear students, when we are supplying the heat after saturation temperature, at that time there is no increase in temperature of water takes place. All the heat energy being supplied does not show any rise in temperature of the liquid, but all the heat energy is utilized for changing the phase of the substance. Means the water from liquid state is converted into vapor state. All the heat being utilized for changing the phase of the substance, and this process is takes place at saturated temperature, or we can say that constant temperature as well as constant pressure, because we have already placed dead weight W over the piston. Okay. So during process B to C, temperature as well as pressure of the system remains constant. So it is at saturation temperature. But when we drag the line at point C, we get from HF to HG is latent heat. Okay. So what is latent heat? So when we further supplying the heat at from point B, at that time the heat does not show any rise in temperature of the liquid, but there is change in phase of the liquid takes place. This heat is known as latent heat. So at point B we get saturated water, at point C we get dry saturated steam. Again, here we are continuously supplying the heat to the dry saturated steam. So at point B the water has an option to convert into vapor, but at point C all the water is converted into dry saturated steam. So when we further supplying the heat to point C, at that time there is further increase in temperature of the vapor or steam takes place until point number D, and that point D, when we drag that point D on temperature diagram, we get superheated temperature of the steam. And if we drag that point D line at the point specific enthalpy line, we get enthalpy of superheated steam, H sup, SUP. Okay, so this is all about the steam generation. If you have any queries regarding this, then you can write down your comments in the comment section. Saturation temperature, there this thing we already discussed, that the temperature at which water begins to boil at state pressure, that is known as saturation temperature. Degree of superheat, what is the degree of superheat? So in TH diagram you can see that at point C we get Hg, that is enthalpy of dry saturated steam, and at point D we get H sup, that is enthalpy of superheated steam. So what is degree of superheated? What is degree of superheat? Means how much amount or how much degree is hotter than the dry saturated steam. So degree of superheat is defined as the difference in temperature of superheated steam temperature and saturated steam temperature, that is degree of superheat. So degree of superheat is defined as the difference in the temperature of superheated steam and saturated steam temperature. Okay. Next is amount of superheat, means how much amount of heat we require to raise the temperature of dry saturated steam to superheated steam, and we know that Q is equal to mc delta T. So degree of superheat is mCps T sup minus T set, that is the amount of superheat. In short, the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of steam from dry saturated steam to superheated steam, that is known as amount of superheat. So this is all about the basic steam formation process. If you have any queries regarding this, then you can write down your comment in the comment section. Thank you for watching my video.